I make my baked beans? Some of you always ask for a recipe. Those of you who know me, who've taken my class before, Paul and Lucy, right, know that even if I make a recipe, a lot of times what happens? I kind of go off into the Twilight Zone and get a little creative. I'm out there in the outer limits going, okay, well, this time I'm going to add this time I'm going to add that. So let me tell you what I basically did to make these beans. I used 3 different kinds of beans. Purano, which turning out to be my favorite. You like these too, Nina. Black-eyed beans, peas, and this Christmas lima. So those of you who've already tried the, my baked beans, I love the texture that the Christmas lima gave to it. I made the beans in the Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can still make beans. Let's pretend this isn't, should we pretend it's an Instant Pot or not? Use the Instant Pot? I do too. We'll pretend this, use it. So I put about 1/2 cup of each one in here. Notice my measuring techniques, okay?
I love your technique.
You like that? Okay, yeah, you love that technique? For those of you that were saying, well, what did you do? What did you do? 1/2 cup of each. And then I put 3 times the amount of water in. 3 times the amount of water. So you look at that. You can measure if you want, or I didn't measure the water. I just filled it up right there. Some people soak their beans. That's okay. Soaking the beans is great. Since I received the Instant Pot, I don't usually soak my beans. But it's okay if you want to soak the beans. You could still put them in the Instant Pot, soak them in the Instant Pot. I would drain that water. You don't have to, but I would drain it, you know, if you wanted to. And then you can cook them in the Instant Pot after you drain them, or just cook them a little longer than you would if you hadn't soaked them in the Instant Pot. Does that make sense? Okay, so I cooked these in the Instant Pot for 47 minutes because 4 + 7 = 11, and I love that number. So that makes sense, right? What I did for the beans, I then roasted some vegetables. I roasted an onion. I sliced up the onion and I kept it in slices, like half-moon slices. Garlic. Now I like garlic. You might not like garlic as much. When I read a recipe and it says 1 clove of garlic, I'm like, why bother? No, it's 3 to 5 cloves. That's my basic. I start with 3 to 5 cloves no matter what. And then I use these carrots because they were so cute. They just reminded me of Easter. I get these from Imperfect Foods. They're Cal Organics, but they're already cut in this cute little ruffle shape. How cute is that? You didn't have to do that, but I just thought they looked cute, you know. So anyway, okay, so I roasted the vegetables. I put them in a 9.5 by 13-inch pan. I put down a piece of parchment paper because I don't use oil when I'm cooking or baking. I don't use oil. So I put the piece of parchment paper down, and then I put those vegetables onto that piece of parchment paper. I put some seasoning on it. I put smoked paprika, I put some pepper, I put some red pepper flakes. I roasted those for 22 minutes because 11 + 11 = 22. So that made sense. 11, one of my favorite numbers. You taking this down scientifically wise? All right, so I roasted the vegetables. Now they're out of the oven 22 minutes. The beans are baked. I mean, the beans are cooked, they're not baked. The beans are cooked. I'm now going to put the beans and the vegetables in one of these. Because when I was young and my grandmother baked beans, she had a separate baked bean pot. And the reason I baked them and not just put them in the Instant Pot is because how many of you remember that nice rim around the pot that tasted so good? It's like you take that piece of cornbread, I want to lick the pot, like I want to lick the pot. So that's why I put them in here. So I put the vegetables in here with some sauce. I used this blueberry barbecue sauce. How much did I use? That much. That's how much I used. You buy this right here at Chili Smith, that's how much I used. Now because we went Hawaiian, I found this sauce, mango jalapeno. Whoa, how fun one is that. I bought this at Forklift. They're vegan and they're no oil. No oil, no oil, obviously vegan, okay? How much did I use? That much. Because I didn't want to make it too spicy. If you taste these beans and you go, I'm gonna spice it up a little bit, then you can spice it up. I bought this one because it's Hawaiian barbecue sauce. How much did I use?
Whole thing.
That much, the whole thing. Now you might not want to do that. That's fine. You don't have to do that. But that's what I did. Steve has some beans in the front. He just used the slather sauce. So you can go really easy. You don't have to get, all creative and crazy and do what I did. I also put 5 sprinkles, I don't know why 5, of liquid smoke. Maybe you want your beans a little bit smokier. Some people make those maple onion smoky ones. Maybe you want to go a little bit more on the hickory smoke. I found that was just enough. And then I love pepper because I couldn't pronounce grandpa when I was little, and so I said pepper. So in honor of my grandfather, I always add pepper just about to everything. Not puddings. I don't usually put pepper in puddings, but usually anything I make, I put some pepper. Okay, so it's all in there. It's all mixed up with the vegetables. I baked it for 44 minutes, of course. We're going with the 11 theme. 44 minutes. I turned the oven off, and then I went about and did my carrot cake muffins and everything else. Oh, and I'm supposed to say, like and subscribe on YouTube. You can tell I'm not a very good salesperson. Like and subscribe or else. That's what I'm saying. Like or subscribe or else. Okay. All right, thank you so much for coming. We'll see you next time.